Greetings, Rachel Abba Mentor here. Welcome. It's Wednesday Clarity Call check-in with you. So glad to be here. It's been a fantastic week so far, trusting that it's the same for you, that everything that you set in motion that is according to your divine destiny is unfolding. And just here to encourage you as always every Wednesday. For those of you who are new to my page, again, Rachel Abba, I'm a mentor, a clarity mentor, and in my business, what I do is guide ambitious women of faith from confusion to clarity so that you can enjoy peace and walk in your divine authority. So again, any questions you might have, any thoughts at all that you have around even the definitions of things in terms of, okay, clarity, you mean like, what if I'm not feeling confused? What if I'm not really going through anything that's that deep right now? Bottom line is, especially in my work where I specialize in spiritual warfare and meaningful decision making, it's very easy to sweep things under the rug. I know this has been the case up until now, even in my journey, where because I've grown so accustomed to soldiering on and pushing through and making things happen, pulling myself up by my bootstraps and earning and striving, that this is an invitation for you to rest. This is an invitation for you to just take a beat, take a breath, and consider all the ways that you might be struggling that isn't actually required for your meaningful success, whatever that looks like for you. That you can go from a place of carrying the load and supporting so many people and basically carrying for others without really holding them high, without giving them an opportunity to step into their power and step into their lives and accountability. So in what ways are you burning yourself out where you could be leaning into your divine authority so that you may rest and be productive and be efficient and actually be giving and serving from a full cup? So this is an invitation for you wearing all the hats to be able to have the same and extend the same level of space and grace and margins for healing and rejuvenation for yourself while you're out there kingdom building, while you're out there being a boss in your own life and being of service to a bigger vision within your own family, within your own community. So this is a way where you get to ensure that your own cup is filled. And the perspective that I take of the spiritual warfare, because for someone who loves peace, for someone who I live for quiet and contemplation and just being introspective and going through my life with a certain level of ease and authority and having the absolute honor and gift of being able to determine what the next step is without being hurried or rushed through my own life, right? Not feeling like an employee in my own life where the external dictates who I'm being. So how do I step up in my whole and complete self? How do I step up in my own freedom, in my own sovereignty? So for those of you who weren't aware, I had, I believe on this past Sunday, I had a masterclass, which was Command Your Peace. And I went into 5 of the top hidden patterns that ambitious women of faith and ambitious women in general, most people actually experience that keep them from commanding their peace and walking in their divine authority. So I already painted a picture of what it can look like when you're, carrying the load. Well, what's the desired result for you? Like, what would meaningful success look like for you? What would meaningful success look like to you in terms of commanding your peace? What does peace even mean? So one of the things that I touched on was around the idea that peace is not necessarily the absence of strife. Peace is not necessarily, that's not the peace that I'm talking about. It's that peace, that biblical peace that passeth all understanding. It's that peace where even in the storm, even when things seem to be a dumpster fire, you have the capacity, that expanded capacity and that clarity, that divine clarity to be able to see things for what they are and not permit yourself to fall into a victim narrative, fall into victim mentality of this is happening to me versus it's happening for me, and allowing fear to enter into your heart. So this is being able to be in a peace where you have that confidence, that trust, that faith to know that whatever is unfolding, that you get to be laser about being in obedience and being God-led, so that your only job is to command your flesh and to be open and willing to be able to take that divine direction, that discernment that can only come through the Holy Spirit, to be able to listen, set aside your own stories around all the things that you can lose and all the things you can go wrong, and to feel that calm, to feel that trust, that confidence, to know that you can bet on yourself, to know that as long as you're in obedience in the word, and that you're listening to your, some people would call it intuition, higher wisdom, deep knowing, whatever that is, that still small voice that is here to guide you through each and every moment in your life, that there's nothing to worry, that there's no weapon fashioned against you that can ever prosper, that you cannot be guided amiss, that whatever is happening for your highest benefit and for the highest benefit of all. It is that ease where no matter what is happening around you, you feel covered and you feel that you've got this. And it looks from the outside looking, it looks like supernatural confidence. It looks like, what do they know that I don't know? It looks like calm. Instead of anxiety, it looks like just self-regulation. Panicking, freaking out, not sleeping, insomnia, stress that can then move into chronic stress, finding negative or destructive coping mechanisms to still your system, chugging gallons of coffee, smoking, drinking, all the different things, gossiping, all the different vices that you can come up with to cope with feeling as if you're out of control in your own life. Things are spiraling. And you don't know what's coming next. The anxiety of just not knowing if this is going to work out, if I'm going to make it. Bills coming at you and your finances are in shreds and you don't know what you don't know, and it just feels like the boogeyman is on your shoulder, behind your back, chasing you, and you can't seem to catch a break. So going from that space to current circumstances don't define me. I know that this too shall pass, and it is well. What's the next thing? And having that capacity to hear and to listen deeply and actually hear divine guidance on the next thing, whether or not it makes logical sense. And knowing that I have a track record of going with that voice and it always seems to work out. And from that place of having your own cup full, that covering, you can serve, you can contribute, you can build, and you can enjoy a sense of fulfillment, deep, authentic peace in your life, in your relationships in particular. You go from fighting a lot with the people in your life and disagreements to just being able to navigate complex challenges and interpersonal relationships with ease. Because you're not at war within yourself. A full integration of yourself and walking in your authority, peace. So that when you walk into a room, you have the capacity to actually shift the atmosphere. Where you walk into a place of disagreement and suddenly people are open and willing to listen and negotiate and come to agreements and cooperation. You determine the atmosphere at any given moment. Because you can command your authority, you can command your peace, you can command respect, you can command whatever it is that is required to honor kingdom building. Because you're God-led. So I encourage you and invite you to share your thoughts. Any questions that you might have, put it in the chats. This is such a powerful time in the world where you look around and I see the conversations, I see the concerns, I hear the fear in people's comments and people's sharings, and I'm here to just encourage you. Don't be fooled by the optics, and don't permit yourself to be enrolled and pulled down in the fear and the uncertainty and the doubt. Because you have more influence than you imagine in your life. You influence this. And then go out into the world and be that for others. Okay, so again, a reminder, I see you and I honor you. Remain blessed. Bye for now.